Hey guys, welcome back. So I have got my June favorites here for you today. So I have got some good things to chat about. I've got my overall Friday favorites for you. So that's what I like to do in these videos, is give you my overall Friday favorites for the month, kind of like the standout products. And then I've got other things to share with you. So I have got a mascara favorite, a skincare favorite, a body care favorite, and then we've got some books to chat about. So yeah, if you're new here, my name is Leslie. Welcome. I love to do favorites videos, new at the drugstore, reviews, empties, get ready with me's. Just a lot of fun stuff here on my channel. So if you're new, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button and stuck around for a while. I'd love to have you here on my channel. So yeah, we are chatting about June favorites, so let's get to it. Okay, so for overall Friday favorites, I would have to say this Morphe, I don't remember what this is called. I think it's Rose to Femme palette. It is such a beautiful color story. It's this kind of like rosy, neutral kind of a color story. I've mainly been reaching for this shade, and this shade, but very, very little of this. So I have like these two on my lid, just kind of lightly mixed together. So good. The mattes are very blendable. The metallic shades are like super intense. I usually don't swatch in my monthly favorites. If you want to see swatches, check out my Friday favorites. So usually I don't show you swatches, but there's a little peek at swatches. Such a great blendable and pigmented, but easy to work with formula. I'm so impressed with this. It's just, you know, little like cardboardy sort of packaging, but the formula of the shadows inside, so, so good. Okay, and then I have to mention the Urban Decay Moondust Shadow in Crushin Hard. I love these so much. Space Cowboy is still my #1 favorite. That one is so amazing, but this one is more on the peachy duochromy blue side. It's just so beautiful. If you like sparkly, you have to like sparkly. You have to, because these are sparkly. So if you don't like sparkly, these would not be for you. But if you like sparkly shadows that just catch the light so beautifully, these are so good. I feel like there's other options out there, but something about these is just so amazing. I just feel like, especially Space Cowboy, it's just so versatile that it can be built up to be more intense for like a night out sort of a look, or you can get just a very thin layer of it and just get this little hint of light catching sparkle. They're so pretty. I love the thin packaging that you can see through them. I love them so much. So this one's just a little bit more peachy than Space Cowboy. So if you like Space Cowboy, but you know, you're like looking at some others, those are really good. Or this one's really good. It's just more on the peachy side, whereas Space Cowboy is more on the kind of like tan neutral side. Yeah. Okay. Then for cheeks, this is going to be like cheeks and lips. I have to go with these because I keep reaching for these so often, especially this one, but also these two, the e.l.f. Sheer For It blush tints. These are amazing. They are a very watery texture and, well, not texture, formula to them. You can see, I mean, they are watery, but so good. I mean, I'll just get a little bit of this, apply it to kind of the center of my lips, and then sort of like rub my lips together just a little bit, let them sit for a few seconds, and then blot my lips, and you have this beautiful long wearing stain that wears really nicely, evenly. Love them on the cheeks too. I just get the product on there and blend. Like, I don't blend and apply, wait for it to dry, do another layer, because I find that can move my makeup underneath because this is such a watery formula. So I just get a good amount of product on my cheek and then do the blending and then just leave it. Like, they're like the least amount of blending I need to do on my cheeks, the better for these. But they're so affordable and they're just really good. I like the simple packaging on them. I like that you can tell what they are inside. So yeah, standout color favorites, Pink Positive, which is a beautiful kind of mid-tone to warm-ish, brighter pink. So, so fun, just a cutesy shade. These two, this one is Left on Red, a beautiful, I would say, pinky sort of a red shade. Gorgeous on the cheeks, gorgeous on the lips. It's amazing. Cherry Cola really surprised me because I thought this was going to be my least favorite, least worn. But this almost ends up being like a blush and bronzer in one for me because it's that kind of rusty, reddy sort of a color, so which I love for a bronzer. So this one I've been using as more of a bronzer on the cheeks. Just kind of like the outer part of my face, and I love it for that. And you've got that long wearing stain to it. It is so good for a bronzer, especially in the warm months. You know, it is hot in Texas. It is officially hot. So anything long wearing is good. That's definitely needed this time of year. I have to mention this for another cheek favorite. So those are cheeks and lip favorites. I would say that has to be my standout lip favorite. Is that what I grabbed? Yeah, that's got to be my standout lip favorites for the month too. So cheeks and lips would be those. OFRA, got to mention this. The Dew in rose, what? In rose quartz. They sent this to me inside of the vacation bundle. Such a cute little bundle for summertime, for vacation. It's got different products in it. I mentioned in Friday favorites, I have a reel and a TikTok on it. It's a great little bundle, but this was in there. This is so, I'm going to show you swatch because I just have to. This is so pretty for summertime. It's like a glowy, you know, face and body sort of a product, but I love this on kind of the sides of my face. I feel like it's looking more golden on my hand and doesn't have quite as much bronziness. Like I feel like you can kind of see it more in the packaging. It looks more like this on my cheeks, where it has that kind of light-catching bronzy glow. So pretty. You can really see it in my reel when I apply it in the reel. It just has this beautiful, like you've been kissed by the sun, bronzy glow. It's so perfect for this time of year. It's so great. Okay, a makeup-y favorite that I have not mentioned in Friday favorites. Did I mention this in Friday favorites? I don't remember, but I got this in a BoxyCharm by Ipsy, so this was sent to me. This mascara is amazing. This is what I have on right now. I love this mascara. This is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Platinum. Beautiful packaging on it. I always tend to like turn it past where it, because I really want to make sure it's sealed, so I always turn it past where it meets up. That doesn't matter, but just something I notice about it. Anyway, this is so beautiful. If you like really volumized, lengthened, Vavoom looking lashes, this mascara totally does that. Let me show you the wand on it. So it's a brush, sort of a wand. This mascara reminds me a lot of, in some ways, a lot of the IT Cosmetics Superhero, in that you don't need a lot of coats with this to get really Vavoom, amazing looking lashes. If you watch my channel, you know me that I use a lot of mascara, a lot of layers, typically like 4 to 5 coats of mascara probably, which is ridiculous, but I do it. Whereas like Superhero, I still apply a lot of layers, but I don't need to. It's one of those mascaras that it works really well quickly with like one, really truly just one coat, but even maybe 2. This one, same thing. One coat, it gives such beautiful length, separation, definition, volume. That's kind of like the fine balance that's hard to find sometimes in a mascara, but that I love, where it gives that, you can see kind of each lash, but they still look like a false lash, that kind of fluttery volume where they're kind of separated, but because they're all separated and fluffy, they don't have that spidery look. They have that fluffy volume look. This definitely gives that. Like, I don't even want to waste it by leaving it open. I don't want to dry it out. I like that it's not a super wet formula, so it really builds on itself really nicely. Yeah, just great length, separation, volume. It's nice and rich and black. It doesn't take a lot of coats. I have about 2 on, but if you want to apply a couple of coats, it builds on itself nicely and doesn't get all weird and clumpy. It wears well. I'm impressed with the wear time on it. Like, I don't get a bunch of smudging or anything with it. It is just so impressive. Like, this right here, all the things I'm describing, what I love in a mascara, and this mascara gives it. Okay, a skincare favorite. I love CosRX. It is one of my favorite skincare brands. Is it? I'm trying to remember. Is my peptides that I love so much? I think that's CosRX. It's a great K-beauty skincare line. It's very affordable. They also make the snail mucin that I love. So this is the Ceramide Skin Barrier Moisturizer. So it has panthenol, B5, and hyaluronic acid. It says replenish skin's moisture barrier, long-lasting hydration, softens and smooths the skin. It says for dry and sensitive skin. I don't have dry skin. I have more kind of normal to sometimes oily, depends on the day. Honestly, like, my skin's combo. It's combo because some days it's even sometimes like different on my forehead. Like sometimes my forehead's super oily, and then other days like it randomly gets dry up on my hairline. So I don't know, my skin, like, it's combo. It has a mind of its own. So I'm not necessarily dry skin, but I just love barrier creams. Like, that's just the gist of it, is I really got into replenishing skincare nights in my skincare routine, where I'm using just really like ceramides, barrier repair sort of products, like the peptides, where it's building, soothing. I'm trying to think of what's the other. Oh, there's another skincare ingredient that I really like on replenish nights. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, ceramides, barrier intensive sort of creams that are really rich and hydrating and just like building and repairing for the skin. I love those kind of products. This is amazing. It's just a really nice, thick but not too thick sort of a formula to it. Like, it's really and it's kind of in the middle. It's not gel where it's thin, but it's not super thick. It's kind of just right in between, but very nice and hydrating feeling. Oh my goodness, I love it. It feels so nice and soothing on the skin. So yeah, if you're looking for a great barrier cream, I love this one. I would say this one is still my favorite though, so I wanted to go ahead and mention this one too. This is the Soonjung 2X Barrier Intensive Cream. I would say they're similar in formula, where they're not overly thick creams, either of them, but they're both really nice and hydrating to the skin. And I just noticed that my skin seems very happy the next day after I use them. Just calmed and hydrated. So both great, affordable, pretty affordable, yeah, barrier sort of creams, like just very nice and repairing. I brought this as my reminder to talk about this product. So I will put it up on the screen, probably over here. This foot file, because I was like, I don't want to show my foot file that I've been using on my foot, my feet. So I'll just show you a picture of it. But I've mentioned this before on my channel. It's that time of year where I'm wearing sandals a lot. I'm sure a lot of us are wearing sandals a lot. And you want your feet to look good, particularly your heels. And if you're like me, we got some dry heels, we got some dry feet. But this is so great because you've got it's an electric foot file that has different attachments to it. It's affordable, it's got different attachments to it, it's rechargeable, and it really just like, I mean, it sounds gross, but it just really files off all the dead skin on your feet. And it's nice that you have the different attachments because some of them are kind of more coarse than others. I really don't notice that I have like a favorite of the different attachments of which one works better. I think it all just kind of, I've noticed they all kind of just get the job done of getting off the dead skin. And I find it's the fastest way to get my feet back looking okay. I need to be more disciplined with wearing. What really works is if I use the foot file fairly regularly, like maybe once a week, twice a week, something like that, and then put Vaseline on my heels and sleep with socks on. Like, that's really the key. If I would do that more consistently, that's really like, that works so well to keep your feet in good, you know, hydrated condition. But if you just need a good way to get your feet back and, you know, get rid of the dead skin, that works really well. Okay, last up for books. So I really didn't have like a super standout stellar reading month. I still enjoyed the books that I read, but I didn't find like a new favorite book or anything like that. So I'll go ahead and mention to you what I read. So first off, I read a couple more books from Cindy Steele. I've mentioned her on my channel many times before. She's just a great, clean, funny rom-com author. I really like her books. My favorite from her is Faking Christmas. I think that was the first one I ever read from her. So funny and cute. That's still my favorite, I think. But I think I've read all of her books at this point. So anyway, these are two, I think, of her older books. So this is part of it's called Pride and Pranks series. And I read the other two books in the series a couple years ago. So these two are more set in summertime. It's like a small town romance sort of storyline. The other two are set more in wintry you know, settings. So I read those around Christmas time when I read them. And they're all pretty short books. Like these are around 250 to 300 pages, but I think the other two, I know for sure one, and maybe the fourth one or the other two of the other two are shorter, like more novella length. So these two are in the middle. No, they're not. So it goes, there's a 0.5 novella, then there's That Fine Line, then there's the other, I think it's a novella too, that's the wintry one, and then there's Double or Nothing. So these are like, I guess, in between. But anyway, I mean, I read them out of order and it still worked. So this one is That Fine Line. This one is they knew each other, they've known each other their whole lives, and they've always kind of like done pranks on each other. And this was cute. This was cute and funny. I think I'm kind of realizing that it takes a lot to keep my attention with just a rom-com that doesn't kind of have some higher stakes in it, like elements of, you know, a fantasy book where they're trying to figure something out, or a historical sort of element that pulls my interest, like some sort of something in a romance. Like I like that mix of things, or they're on an adventure together, where it's something more like this, where it's more of just a small town cutesy storyline. I really have to be like in the right mood to read the book. This one I enjoyed more than this one, I think, because I read this one obviously before this. So I was, you know, it was a little out of the norm, but then once I'd already read this one and I read this one, I was like, I'm kind of over it at this point. So anyway, I still enjoyed them. This one is about that they're kind of pranking each other. Will they see each other again? And then they're like, no, we're not going to start pranking each other. Well, then they end up pranking each other, and, you know, it's a romance. So, of course, they fall in love, and it's cute and funny. The internal dialogue is very funny. She's great at that. She's great at writing humor in her books. So that's my favorite part of her books. And she's good at writing that they're attracted to each other. Like that fine line of being able to write great attraction and tension without spice. She's really good at that. So I really appreciate that in her books. This one is Double or Nothing, and she is his best friend's little sister. So it's that kind of storyline. She's, you know, had a crush on him pretty much her whole life since she was younger. And it's just kind of that storyline. So there's like kind of less happening in the storyline, I felt like, with this one to keep my interest. But it was still cute. It wasn't a standout favorite. So read those. I also read To Kill a Kingdom. This is a YA fantasy. I really liked this one. This one is sort of like a Little Mermaid kind of retelling. So I loved the being on the sea sort of element to the storyline. I don't want to give a lot away, but that's what I would go into it knowing, is that it's sort of like a Little Mermaid retelling. That's kind of all I knew about it when I first started reading it, and I liked that. I liked kind of being able to go, oh, this is what's kind of the element of how the storyline is set up. I like that. So I would say if you want to know more about it, read the synopsis, but if you want to kind of go in like I did, I would say just go with what I just said. But yeah, it's good. I like the writing style. It was definitely less easy to read, more pretty writing. You know, sometimes there's authors have different ways of writing where it's sometimes, and I think it depends on how your brain just, you know, everybody's like brain is different. So some authors I really connect with the way they write, and others not so much. I didn't quite connect with her writing as much because it was a little bit more pretty sounding and less basic. So a lot of times I connect with the more kind of basic writing, and this was a little bit more pretty. But I didn't find it difficult. I just had to read maybe a little bit slower. And then I would say probably my standout favorite for the month is, look how pretty this book is, Twisted Throne. This is the 5th book in the Bridge Kingdom series. So this one is about the main character in this one is the sister of the main character, or one of the 2 main characters in the first 2 books. So this one kind of is continuing the story, but I really like Danielle L. Jensen's writing style. It's very easy to read, straightforward writing, but she's great at writing adventure and like lots happening in the story, but that's not difficult to understand as far as the action goes. Sometimes I get a little bit confused with the sort of like political part of the story, like whose kingdom is talking to who and what's their sort of agreements. And so there's definitely elements of that I would get a little bit confused with. But as far as like where they were going, what they were doing, the adventure side of the story, love the way she writes that. Really sweet, good romance in it, kind of exciting, what's going to happen sort of romance. Little spice in it. It's very minor. It's towards the end. So I wouldn't say that's like a standout of, you know, something that's a big deal for me. It's easy to skip. There is cussing in it though, and it's words that I really don't like in books. So that's the main thing that I would say, I wish that were different. But other than that, I really, really like her writing style, her stories, the adventure, the mix of like the fantasy, the adventure, the romance, all the things. She's really good at writing all those elements. So I enjoy this series. Okay, that wraps up my favorites for the month. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please hit a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below what you have been loving. Either makeup, skincare, hair care, fashion, books, home, random, body care. Did I hit all the things? I don't know. All the things. Let me know all the favorite things. I would love to hear those. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!